Let's do it. All right. We are live. What is going on, everybody? It's me, Mark Robertson, and we are back with another episode of the Sacramento Kings Bleeding Purple podcast. We are here because this is the only relevant podcast for the Kings. Simple as
Yep.
that. And this is Bossup Gaming, aka Dave, aka another good Kings fan. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming down so far. I see 2 likes so far. Thank you guys so much. But basically, we're just going to give our opinions on the mock draft and then also talk about just trade possibilities and trade rumors. And there's one that just popped up that I told him to get ready for that I just saw, which is very interesting that I really want to talk about because that could be huge.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, blowing up one whole team in one off season. That's what that's going to do. But yeah, can't wait to listen to Mark. All right, let me tweet this real quick.
All
We
right.
are live. All right. So, 3 viewers already. Thank you guys for all coming in. Thank you guys for watching so far. So, guess give your opinion or just get tell everyone who you are and everything, and then we'll start with the mock draft.
All right. So I'm Davin, Dav, Boss Up Dav. I have a channel on YouTube by Bossup Productions. Um haven't done too much NBA stuff on there yet, but that's coming soon. This is like my first type of thing, but gosh, should definitely go check it out.
For sure. I really liked your. I just saw your. I looked at one of your videos real quick. It was the roster beef up, and that that's so funny. Everyone
Oh,
just gets shot straight up. That was so good.
yeah.
I was like, that team would be fire.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna do the lottery first, or our draft, and then we're gonna talk about trades, and then talk about maybe a little bit of free agency and how we think the Kings should take it and your opinions on it. But and then we'll answer a little bit of questions, and then that will be the podcast episode. And hopefully, we can do more with not only with Davin but also with other people in the future, which would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's get to the mock draft, and obviously, we're going to go from Suns all the way down to I
To LA.
think is it Clippers or is
Uh,
it
are we
who is
going
the last
one through
one?
14? 1 through 14. The 14th pick is Denver Nuggets.
Is the Nuggets?
Yeah,
Okay,
the Clippers have 12 and 13.
who's got 11?
Charlotte Hornets.
Hornets. Right. Hornets, and then Clips have 12 and 13. Clips, and then Nuggets. Dude, I still can't believe the Nuggets like traded down for what they got instead of getting Donovan Mitchell.
Oh my
That
gosh.
team would have been so good. Devin Harris and Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly. Donovan Mitchell is a game changer.
Yeah.
Gordon
Or
Hayward
no.
left and came right in, and Donovan Mitchell.
He made them better though, honestly. Like
Yeah,
Gordon Hayward was good, but he made them like
you know,
really good.
the Kings like were really interested in him, right?
I know they were. I think
Um,
honestly
they
in the
said
long run,
if they didn't take Fox at 5, if Tatum would have fell to 5, then Donovan Mitchell was the 10th pick for sure. Or was it the 10th pick? Yeah, we traded the or what did
yeah,
we trade?
it was 10. It was the rights to Zach Collins for the rights to the 15th and the
Yeah, yeah,
20th.
yeah. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. We would have took Donovan Mitchell with the 10th pick for sure. That's what
That
the
would have been
Kings.
that would have been crazy though. But honestly, if it would have been redone now that I look about it, dude, it would have been Tatum one, um,
Yeah.
Tatum one, uh, Donovan two, probably Josh Jackson would have been four, probably Laurie Marketing or
Lord,
Kyle
yeah.
Kuzma would have been
Kyle
three.
Kuzma.
Like
Dennis Smith
crazy.
Jr. would have went higher too.
Yeah, I don't think he would have gone higher than Fox though. Like
I don't think
I
so.
think,
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that Fox didn't even make the lot, like makes
Oh, the rookie team.
the rookie lines, and like I get like yeah, Lonzo's like hyped and everything, but like he missed 30 games out of the season. Like
And his stats were not that good. Like I remember
it,
looking at Lonzo's stats like every game, and this dude would score like maybe 2 points, and
but
but
get like
he
a
would
whole
have
bunch of rebounds
he
and a
would
whole
have
bunch of
decent
assists.
decent assists and rebounds, but
Yeah.
nothing like amazing. Fox was clutch. I think he gets points just for that. To
He
be
was so clutch that we got a number 2 pick, and he was sitting in the sitting in the
exactly,
lottery room.
exactly.
Anyways, all right, so let's get into the mock draft. And so, with the number 1 pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns are on the board, and I am gonna stick with my gut, and I'm still gonna say that with them having an ex-coach of Luka Doncic, I think the Suns ultimately will pair him up well because Alfred Payton is on his way out. They're not going to keep Alfred Payton. I don't feel like they'll probably try to trade him for something. Hopefully not as bad as the Orlando Magic did for trading him to the Suns
Yeah,
for a second round draft pick. Um, but like Luka Doncic and Devin Booker would be one of the would be an amazing backcourt for that team. And even though they need a whole lot, they already have Marquise Chris, who hopefully gets his attitude in check and can start
yeah,
playing better in the post. And then also Dragon Bender can still play. So like
yeah.
it's like you
And
have a good
and
backcourt.
they can go out in free agency and max someone out.
Yeah.
They have the money to max someone.
They
Yes,
already said that they were gonna throw one at Capella.
Capella,
So
exactly. That's why I also have Luka Doncic going number one because the coaching situation where they just picked him up, there's like a tie there. And then
yeah.
I've heard that they're supposed to max out Capella. So why
Yeah,
go
which
Aiden
would
when you can get Luka?
there's plenty of teams that are maxing out, quote unquote maxing out Capella, but there's plenty of players that are looking at a max contract this offseason.
Yeah.
Um, but moving on to number 2, we have our luck of the draw, second time in 2 years making it into the top 3.
Yeah.
It's luck. It's the luck season, right?
Yeah.
And
Great. Loved it.
we can talk about trade possibilities for this pick later. I'm just gonna go for what we would go ahead and draft,
Yeah.
and then we could talk about like depending on if we traded down, who we would draft at that point. But we'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
So with my pick, or if I was the Kings going to, I would ultimately take whoever is left. Like
So you would
even
go
though
Aiden?
well, yeah, I would have to go. You would have to go Aiden. Like he is
Yeah.
a beast, and like
I'm
even if
so
he's not
stuck.
the
I'm so stuck between him and MPJ, like so stuck because my opinion is, if we pick up Michael Porter Jr. and I don't know why I have a feeling that Willie Cauley Stein could produce better next season. You saw flashes of him producing,
oh hell
and
yeah,
we don't
he's gonna be
necessarily
amazing
need a
next
star.
offseason.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need a star next year at the center position. Like I feel like if we went out and got Porter Jr., it would just I don't know. I feel like it'd be amazing. And then
Boogie,
CJ Child.
Boogie, he was in
Dude, I
Sacramento.
saw he was in Sacramento. I was like, I loved it. I was like, come back home.
Boogie come back.
But
Boogie plays
yeah.
it all on Florida.
But
Um,
I have the Kings going Michael Porter Jr. I feel like they're just
you
gonna
have you
go
haven't
for
going
it.
Michael Porter Jr. that
Yes,
high though.
I feel like they're just gonna go for it and say, hey, this kid has star
Can
potential.
you
He
imagine though if
does.
we got Michael Porter Jr. and he ended up being like 10 times better than like Aiden or Doncic, and
That's
he
what
was like literally like the best player in like a decade worth of drafts. Like
that's
that'd be insane.
because he has these comparisons before he got that back injury. He has comparisons to KD and
LeBron,
yeah, like
like
this kid, I don't know. I just think his potential is so high and he has
his
so
shooting is so high as being that height. He's already 6'10".
yeah, like
This kid's
exactly. And
already 6'10".
you've seen his he can ball handle and everything. He almost is like I don't know, he's like an American Luca. Luca has a better ball handling and IQ, I would say. But then you got to see Michael Porter Jr.'s side,
Porter is way
his size,
Porter is way more athletic though.
his
Like
athlete. Yeah,
straight
he's
up.
so
Like
athletic. And honestly, their shots probably like at the same. I
sure.
would say.
I think Doncic just probably has a little bit better of
Yeah.
a shooting percentage, but they're probably close to the same. It would have been nice to see because obviously Porter would have gone top 3 if he was able to play this offseason or this during
Yeah.
his
Yeah, exactly.
one season. He
Yeah.
probably would have gone higher than Aiden. Like honestly, if he would have been able to ball out at Mizzou,
Yeah.
who, who,
coming
That
out
would have
into
been.
college, he was projected to be like the best in the draft, and he's even said that he thinks he is the best player in this draft. And I have
But
a feeling he
so is
might
Aiden and
be.
so is Bagley. Speaking of Bagley, like so obviously I have Aiden, you have Porter. But like what if they took Bagley? Like Bagley's even said on even though I don't totally believe everything that
Oh, I
Adrian
saw that.
W says, he
Yeah, I saw
straight up
that.
said, I will be the franchise player of the Sacramento Kings.
I mean, I don't know. I
That's
have like,
crazy. No one
yeah,
ever says that.
like no, yeah, like the only person that's like went out and wanted to be like a king was like and showed was De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if you saw Snapchats and stuff like before
So
the
yeah,
draft.
yeah.
He would be
And then
posting like
also
king stuff.
Boogie did it too. Like
Yeah,
honestly, like
yeah.
Boogie was showing he
He
wanted to stay a
loves
king.
Sacramento. He said, "I want my jersey retired here."
Yeah, I think honestly, that'll happen at some point or another later on down the line. Just
Yeah,
because he's done so much for Sacramento, he's still doing things for Sacramento. He still runs camps. He
yeah.
still runs like those comedy nights that he does every year.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the 7 viewers I see down below. Thank you guys for all coming in and watching. Make sure you guys comment down your questions, and then later on when we get to the questions portion, we'll talk about that. Moving on to the number 3 pick, so we can just keep it on going. We have the Atlanta Hawks, and it's interesting with Atlanta. You already have John Collins playing down there. You have Prince,
Mm-hmm.
who had a really good season last year for them, and then you have Schroeder, who just for some reason made this like the way I've heard it is trolled out of the wazoo from Porter, like does not know or not Porter, out of um Schroeder. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just trolls everybody. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like you're supposed to be the leader of a team.
Yeah, that's hard.
You have the starting
Yeah,
point guard position locked down. They're not gonna find anybody else to start in your position right now.
yeah,
They're not on the
yeah,
up and up as a team. So like you made a bad decision. You were gonna get
yeah.
paid money and
Yeah,
you could just get
exactly.
traded. And so and he's a good and honestly when Schroeder's playing good, he's a good player. He's
Yeah,
better than a lot of other
that's
people.
why that's why they said Teague, you're gone. Let's give this team to this guy right here because he
Yeah.
showed that he was a better or he was good enough to lead their team.
And that was only like right after that full all-star team of
Yeah,
Atlanta who leaded the East.
Korver,
They're
Millsap,
just like
Horford.
they're just like everybody get out of here. We're
They
gonna
did
let
a
Schroeder.
crazy rebuild, and it like
Yeah.
crazy.
Their players aren't that bad. It's just like I said, you making bad decisions on a team that you're supposed to be leading. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I've said Bagley for this team. I've said Jaren Jackson Jr. for this team.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bagley. I honestly think Bagley and Collins are the way to go for this overall like front court of this team.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes down to it and they need to get rid of Schroeder, they might have to trade that pick. Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, you might have to trade it to get it over with. So
yeah. Because you need a point guard on a team. You can't have like a a bad point guard. Who's even in free agency for point guards? Like
Isaiah
there's
Thomas.
oh well, I mean, hey, you want him? Hey,
I don't
I
know if
like
he
him.
really wants to go play in Atlanta, but
Yeah,
he might end up there. Um,
possibly.
but yeah, who do you think would go 3?
So with how my mock draft has gone so far, I feel like they could go if Luca or Aiton falls to them, how which I have Aiton falling to them. I think they go Aiton no matter what. You have to because he
I
doesn't.
would feel really bad for Aiden because like anybody that
He would
like
be so
I
mad.
know
I
there's
feel
plenty of
so
people
bad
that
for
say
him.
like people are going to be sad if they fall to Phoenix. They'll be sad if they fall to Sacramento. Honestly, what does Atlanta have that makes it so you want to go to them?
Yeah,
Like out of any
he'll
team, what do
because
they have?
he really likes Phoenix because I mean he played college there and everything, and then he would like. I feel like he'd like being in Sacramento because he's from the Bahamas. We got Buddy Hield there.
Oh,
They would
Aiden.
mash up real good. Yeah, he's from the Bahamas. He even said,
You just imagine the dynamic Bahamian duo.
"Yeah, because you know how Buddy Hield is. He's like a real like high character guy. They
Yeah,
would love it. Him and yeah, that would be tight. But yeah, I
I
have them
kind of want
going with
to.
the DeAndre Ayton for sure if he slides
So,
to them. But
I
if
kind of
not,
see
I would see Marvin Bagley fitting over Jaren Jackson.
for sure. I would definitely see in the future if if they ever wanted to do like a summer like not during summer league but a summer league thing for Bahamian player or people in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I would see Aiden and Heald being down there being like, "We're the leaders. Here's the teams you guys all play."
Yeah. For
Like
real.
they'd be like the NBA ambassadors of the Bahamas.
The Bahamas, yeah.
That'd be sweet. That'd be sick. All right. So moving on to number 4, and we have the Memphis Grizzlies, who fell out of the number 2 spot down all the way down to number 4, which is crazy. Like Atlanta did that to the Mavs too. The Mavs and the Grizzlies fell out of the top 3.
Yeah.
That's crazy. After the Mavs won their coin toss, they still fell out of the top 3.
Yeah.
Memphis, you take whoever. If Bagley's still there, you take him. It's honestly like take the best player because
Yeah.
again,
Exactly.
at least Memphis has like a few players that players would want to go play with. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep saying it. Atlanta has absolutely nothing. Like you have nothing to go play for in Atlanta. Like
Nothing at all.
where you go play for these other teams and teams already have structured players. Like you have Dylan Brooks on the Grizzlies
Nice.
who's been balling out. Hopefully Conley can come back and ball out and
They
hopefully
got
get a
Ben
few more years out
Malcolm.
of Ben McLemore just sitting there doing nothing.
Yep, pretty
Um,
much.
is he a free agent again? I thought did
I
he do a
don't
1-year deal on him?
I don't know, but I was like so like wondering if he would come out and like play so good for the Grizzlies because I was like
That'd be
maybe it's just
funny.
us, maybe it's just the Kings. He can't play good for the Kings because he
Yeah.
was supposed to be so good, but
So for Memphis, so off my board already, we got um, Aiden, Bagley, and Doncic. So you would take who's the next best, and I guess in that situation, you would take Jaren Jackson Jr. at 4. Because
mhm.
I think any other team except for Sacramento is going to be looking at Porter and be like, if we don't take Porter at 3, everyone else is just going to wait until he's like number 8.
Yeah,
Like
I
he's
feel
going to
like
slide so hard for everybody else.
yeah, if he doesn't go to us, he's
Unless you're
gonna slide.
Chicago, which keeps trolling the rest of the league and saying we're going to take Michael Porter Jr.
They want him so bad. I want to like just like take him,
That's
but
the
like
reason. That's like
hang
probably
on.
your reason. Like he needs to go higher than them.
If he goes, oh, we'll talk about that once we get to the Bulls.
Yeah. But yeah. So for Memphis, you take Jaren Jackson Jr. You have a great player to play next to Gasol. He's a good scoring big man who was leading the league in 3+ blocks a game, which would be
Yeah,
huge
I
for
like
them.
him. I
So
like him a lot.
yeah. So
So
who do you think? Who do you think for number 4?
So if mine was different, I mean, it's just I'm going best player available, so it's Marvin Bagley.
Marvin
And
Bagley for 4.
if he slides down to the Grizzlies, they're like him and Jaren Jackson Jr. They're kind of like, but I feel like Marvin Bagley's a lot more athletic, and I feel
Really?
like Marvin Bagley would fit great with the Grizzlies. I don't know why. Jaren Jackson too, he would fit good there too. Both of these players could fit there. Like they need a power forward. They don't really have a power forward. Like
I see. I
Jamichael Green, I think, is their power forward.
Michael Green, Dante Davis, who's just just like a
Yeah,
walking stick. Like he's just
yeah,
doing nothing. He's just standing on their court doing nothing.
yeah. So
Um,
that'd be good
yeah. So
though.
you got whoever's remaining at that point, which would be
Marvin
Bagley,
Bagley.
and then I got Jaren Jackson Jr. So moving on to number 5, we have Dallas, who's another, like I said, is another team who fell just straight out and didn't get to pierce their mark into the top 3, which I bet Mark Cuban was very disappointed with his $600,000 tanking fine that he had to deal with.
they
Um,
they shouldn't have
but
went out and said, "Hey, we're gonna tank," because the NBA gods messed them
that's
up
what
for that
I'm,
one.
that's what I'm saying. I'm still super happy the fact that we straight up tanked without tanking. Like we were
Yeah,
actually like playing ball. Like people were watching our games and enjoying our games.
and we were winning some tough games.
Winning some games. Like we went into Oracle and we swept the Warriors in Oracle both games.
Exactly,
And we
exactly.
weren't just like winning. We were like beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one shot at the end of the first game where Bogdanovich got it. We were still leading that game the entire game. They just happened to get a run at
Yeah,
the end of the
you know
game.
they made their little hot little turnaround like they
Dude,
do.
I'm still psyched though that it's 2-2 in that series. I have Rockets in 6.
Yeah,
I
for sure. That's how I'm feeling about that too.
feel
But
like they'll go back into Houston, they'll get a dub, and then they'll come back. It might go 7 games, honestly. It might go 7 games. We'll have to wait and see how good they play in Houston.
Yeah.
So for Dallas, I totally still have that mindset that they're looking for the next Dirk. Like um, uh, Cuban wants his Dirk and wants it to stay and wants that feeling to still stay. And I know that that's what they were going for with Nerlens Noel, who has just become really like a no show in the league. Like
Yeah.
he was so
He's
good with the Sixers, and then all of a sudden he became like basically nobody.
yeah.
Like
He's
he's like Luol Deng in the sense that he's just sitting there doing nothing.
yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
but to go along with that, the best player available that looks like that Mavericks go-to player that would be like Dirk is Mo Bamba from the University of Texas. Like
Dude,
I
that
have Mo
guy.
Bamba going there and like being basically hopefully Dirk can teach him a few things in his last season and then Bamba can just straight up rip everything else.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
what
at
I
the
have,
comments real quick. Oh,
oh,
give me 1 second. Anybody that's talking in the comments right now, we will go over questions at the very end. So if any questions are there, I will talk to you guys about them in a second. Okay, just sit tight. Just keep watching. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. But yeah, so going on to who do you have going to Dallas?
so since I had the Grizzlies taking Marvin Bagley, then Jaren Jackson Jr. falls to the Mavericks, which I think is also could be something like very special. I feel like he would work good with the Mavericks. He'd bring that defense, and he could. I feel like he'll develop well there with
That's
Dennis
true.
Smith Jr. I feel like it's a good. I feel like yeah, it's good, definitely.
Totally, I could totally see that. Jaren Jackson Jr. could also be Dirk's replacement. He has a
Yeah,
little bit better of a scoring game than Mo Bamba, so you could see that, and they both have good defensive prowess on the court.
yeah.
So,
I
you,
think Jaren Jackson had more blocks than Mo Bamba, didn't he?
yeah, Mo Bamba had 3. Jackson had Jackson had. I had the numbers. Where's the numbers? There they are. Bamba had 3.6 a game, and Jackson had 3 games. So Bamba was just straight beating out
Oh,
Jackson.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like was playing really good. So um, moving on to the number 6 pick, and we
Sweet.
have another team that had to move down with that, and that would be the Orlando Magic. And at this point, the Orlando Magic need a point guard. And at that point, you take Trae Young and you get out of Dodge.
Exactly. I
You
don't
take
know.
Trae Young and you run. No
I
one
don't
else is
know
taking Trae
why.
Young.
I don't know why there's so many people. I've seen so many mock drafts out there where they do not take Trey Young at 6. I don't know why. I'm just like, why do you go? They say a lot of people will go like Wendell Carter or McCall or someone like that, and I'm just like,
Why?
dude, go Trey Young. Go. The Orlando Magic needs someone like that. He has a lot of bust potential, but they need to go out and get someone that could be
They need a
close with a
bang. They
star.
need a bang at point guard, and they have not had a bang at point guard since
Who's their point guard? Like DJ Augustin?
DJ Augustine
Yeah.
or Alfred Payton.
So
Do you see that Alfred Payton like is serious about wanting to play the game of basketball? He shaved that wig off.
he did. He cut that, and they say that that was his like that was messing up his shot for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just
He
having
looked.
half of your vision, just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I could totally see the game of basketball. Well, I'm just like, I'm like, bro, you got a hand holding. Like they don't even need to put a hand in front of you. You have it. They already have a hand on you.
He
Like,
looked pretty decent in Phoenix. Like his
he
first
looked,
couple games in Phoenix, he looked nice.
and then he got injured again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
True. But yeah,
So
Trey Young.
we're pretty. I was gonna say like with the Atlanta Hawks, if they did trade Schroeder, they would take Trae Young.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
but you'd have to trade down. So I guess they would trade down to somebody, and then Orlando would take Saxton at that point. I guess
Yeah.
if you
I
want
mean,
to,
hey, whoever. Yeah, Trey Young's gonna go first over Sexton, but if you don't get Young, you get Sexton, and I think Sexton's still gonna be a
Colin
good point
Saxton,
guard.
yeah, way
So
too good. They're all really good. Um, moving to who is it? 7.
the Bulls.
The Trolley old Bulls.
Yeah.
And so in
Triggered.
this part, Mo Bamba's off the board, MPJ's off the board. Denzel Valentine looks absolutely awful on the Bulls. So
So I know who you got then.
so I'm taking Mikal Bridges to the
Wait,
Chicago Bulls.
Michael Porter Jr. hasn't gone in yours yet, right?
Oh, he isn't. Oh, I guess okay. I guess
Yeah, they
he
for
would go
sure are
there.
going Michael Porter
Yeah,
Jr.
they're
You
gonna
gonna
go for
take
him
him?
at that point.
So
But mine would be Porter Jr. I'm right. There we go.
so
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, thank you guys for everyone who's still here. Make sure you guys keep commenting and everything. Um, yeah. So who would you have at that point? Because you took Porter at 2.
yeah,
So
so with how I have it going, I have the Mo Bamba slipping into the Bulls.
yeah, Mo Bamba going to the Bulls.
Yeah, and I feel like they'll take him because they just need to
You
get
think
rid
Mo
of Robin
Bamba and
Lopez.
you
Or
think Mo Bamba and Marketing would play good next to each other?
possibly, I mean, because Bamba, I don't know. I don't know actually. I don't
He can't
know.
pass, so you would need somebody that could somehow pass to Marketing as he's sitting in the corner waiting for a 3 ball. So
Yeah, they could go. I don't know. I mean, if they really want a center, they could go Mo Bamba. I just don't see him falling. He could fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But if they don't want Bamba because of that, then they could go Wendell Carter, or if or they
Wendell
can go
Carter's
Mikel.
a little bit smaller, and then end up being a better defensive center for them overall. And he
Yeah.
doesn't have a hot head and get thrown out of 4 games a year, like
Yep.
like Lopez does.
Oh my gosh, that
That
guy's
dude probably
terrible.
like destroys at least eight chairs a season.
Yeah, and he has a problem with
um,
mascots. I don't know why.
and then we have a top 2 team
Oh,
going down to the number 8. It's crazy in the lottery this year. We have what is it? Three, um, 2 teams, who played in the playoffs this year who
yeah.
have top 10 picks,
Yep.
and both of them were transfer picks because this was the Lakers pick and this was the Nets pick. So
Yep.
um, so the Cavs at that point you're looking to hit hard enough that if LeBron leaves, you have a player that will play well with them, and if
Or
he
maybe,
doesn't leave,
yeah, maybe someone that could keep LeBron there.
keep LeBron there. And oh, so Bridges moved up for me, so that'd be Chicago. Or that no wait, I have Porter there.
Yeah.
I guess Bridges would go there. Like Bridges would be a good solid wing player for them with
Yep.
Love still being there and Tristan Thompson will still be there. They don't really need those positions.
Mm-hmm.
And if LeBron leaves, you need someone that can come in and hopefully get some scoring done for him. So
Yeah. That's where
um,
I was like between these two players. I have the Cleveland Cavaliers going Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton,
Yes, because I feel like
why?
they need a point guard. I don't feel like their point guards. George Hill is not cutting it.
George Hill's playing good in the finals or good
Is he?
in the playoffs. Yeah,
Is
he
he?
stepped up like super hard for them.
I just saw something where someone was saying that J.R. Smith and George Hill combined for 4 points.
Yeah,
I'm
like a
like,
few games ago, but like he's been in their back to back wins to make it 2-2.
he's been
He
pretty
was
good.
showing up.
Oh,
J.R.
okay.
Smith is becoming dumpster fodder. That's what he's becoming. Sorry, not sorry. Um,
Man, I need to
he
get him.
he 10,000 tattoos. Need a few more to complete his tour out of the NBA.
Yeah.
um,
I want to go look at this. I want to see his stats.
I think I saw that he was doing good, but I guess I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I was
Decent.
I was
Decent.
hoping that George Hill was getting stuff done there. Like
He, I mean,
I wanted to see him play well. I was still very happy when we got like that news that he was meeting with LA, and then all of a sudden he signed a 3-year contract with the Kings, and I was like, come again?
I'm the same. I was like, what are you guys doing?
No,
But
I thought that was a good idea. Like George Hill was the best point guard in the free agency at that
yeah.
point.
Well, I liked him for I feel like the Kings did it perfect. I feel like I liked him for a mentor because I feel like if he would have stayed any longer than he did, it would have maybe like messed up Fox's what's it called? His development. I feel like
He wouldn't have gotten in those clutch games.
yeah.
Simple as that.
Yep.
Coach would have chosen, and that's another thing. And I was reading an article today also, and it popped up, and it was like, Dave Yeager needs to get in the now and
Oh
not be
yeah, I think that
sitting
was
in the
by
past.
Sacktown Royalty or something like that. I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't read
and
it though.
I totally agree with that. I'm so done with like,
The
yeah, sure, players that have been playing in the league earn their minutes, but the fact of the matter is, you have a young league that wants to ball out, and you can't let them sit on the bench and not have minutes.
yeah, I was. Oh man, there was times where
So
I was so
if you take
mad.
DeAndre Ayton as your second overall pick, he's an instant starter, and
Yeah,
you don't question that.
yeah, exactly,
He's
exactly.
an instant number 5, or if he wants to play 4.
Yeah,
I don't like him playing 4, but
I've
if he
heard
wants
that
to
he
play
wants to play
5,
the four, and I'm like, why, dude? Why? You're 7'1".
dude, if he could be like a better, if he could be uh, like for how he shot during the season, he could play well. If he could play like how Mbamba or not Mbamba, Sergi Ibaka, but
Yeah,
like taller, like but was rebounding really good and was doing everything else that Sergi Ibaka can't do, like that would be fire. I've seen comparisons to him to the Diesel, like Big Diesel, like he could be the next Shaq.
yeah,
So
he is a big guy. Yeah, he's strong. I do like him a lot.
I don't know if he'll break a backboard, but you never know.
Yeah, so I had
Moving on
Colin
to
Sexton.
Colin
Um,
Sexton. Okay.
yeah,
Moving on to number 9, we have the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks are at that situation where you also hear them talking about that they want to go for Trae Young, like they have agreed with Trae Young that they'll draft him if he falls to them because he's
mhm.
from New York, which would be interesting. But I still don't like. There's still people in this league that think that workouts or like agreements actually matter to where you get drafted to. Like that doesn't matter. Like
Yeah,
at the end of
it's
the day, it
yeah,
doesn't matter where you get drafted to. It matters who wants to take you at that
yeah,
point in time.
yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at SEC country, their mock draft, and they have Doncic going number 1. Huh.
Yeah, I've
Doncic
seen
going
some.
number 1. Michael Porter Jr. going to Orlando.
Oh yeah, I've
Ooh,
seen that too.
ugh. I don't know
I've
how I
seen
feel
that
about this,
too.
but
No.
anyways, um, yeah, I have Carter going to the Knicks. I think Wendell
Oh,
Carter will play really good with with Porzingis like as a defensive center, and Porzingis will play the 4, and then they can bring Ennis off the bench. I
yep.
think he would play really good with them, or maybe even if they reached and took Miles Bridges at 9, he could play good small forward for them. But I think Carter is honestly their best bet. He's the best player on the board at that point.
Yeah, so I have the Knicks going Wendell Carter Jr. too,
Yeah,
just because
he's a solid
Porzingis.
defense,
Yeah, and
solid.
Porzingis is supposed to possibly be out for most of the season next year because of his injury.
Out for the entire season.
Most of the season, they're saying he might be out for most of the season. That's how bad it is.
What? He
Yeah,
didn't go down until like before the All Star
it
game. How
was.
is that possible?
Was it before the All Star game? I don't know.
I
I
need to
just
look.
that's what I
I'm gonna look
heard.
at that. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like why would he be out that long?
Yeah, exactly. Huh? I don't even know what
Uh,
the injury was.
it was a could have traded for. Oh no, I don't want to read that. I don't care about that. There. Okay, actually, I will talk about this. There's a report saying that the Phoenix Suns botched a deal for Chris Porzingis last season. What?
What the
Really?
heck?
He would have been terrible on the Suns. A torn ACL in his left knee. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
Oh.
yeah. Harry Giles.
But this was in February. This was February 6th. This was literally right before the All Star game.
Yep.
So,
I don't know.
that sucks so
Oh, could
bad.
miss entire 2018-2019 season. That's what it says right here for the
That would suck too, because he'd be like an All Star in that season.
yeah, Porzingis
Uh,
special.
okay. Moving on to number 10, the 76ers. And when I look at the 76ers, what they really need, because they have their point guard,
Yep.
they have their shooting, they somewhat have a good shooting guard. And if they
They
need to,
do.
they can move Covington to shooting guard, and he can play shooting guard.
Yeah.
They don't have a small forward. They have a power forward and a center.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's huge stakes on if LeBron will actually come to the Celtics, or not the Celtics, the 76ers, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously that team could probably win the championship the next year.
Yeah.
As long as they were all playing fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
if LeBron and Ben Simmons were dropping triple doubles every other night, they would win the championship easily.
Yeah. That, oh my
Um,
gosh. That'd be some crap.
but with their 10th overall pick, if they want to go for that, I'm gonna have them reach and go for Kevin Knox with the 10th overall pick from Kentucky, a
Mhm.
really solid small forward who can score and just get into the post when he needs to. And I would take him,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
Okay.
have him play the 2 or the 3, and
I
just
like
have a solid player there that they need.
I like Kevin Knox. He has a lot of potential, but for who I have going to the 76ers because he's gone all the way down here. I don't know. He could go earlier, but I have Mikal Bridges going to the 76ers.
Mikel, oh, that's an obviously good one too. That's a
Yeah,
great one
that's
too.
if Mikal's there for them, oh my gosh. He's gonna come in and be that like that player they kind of need. I feel like they kind of already have that with Covington.
You
Covington's
know
a
what
good
Mikel could
defender.
really do good for that team? He could just be just making sure the ball goes wherever it needs to go, and he doesn't even
Yeah,
have to. He could be scoring like 5 points, and
they need some little tiny piece that could help them, and he could be it. So yeah,
yeah, get
I
their
have Mikal
consistency
going
up,
there.
get their defense, get their wing defense up. Like that's what they really need.
Yep.
So yeah, so you got Knox, I got Bridges. Number 11, and this is the Hornets. Now, the Hornets have been a very interesting team in the last few seasons, and like we've had Kemba Walker having rumors that he would get traded, and rumors that he would stay and be their franchise player, and rumors that he'll be the next Michael Jordan and all this crazy crap because Michael Jordan owns the team and all this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? No, for one thing, Kemba's a good player, but he wouldn't be good on any other team.
Yeah. The
Like
truth.
straight up, he would not be good on any other team.
He has that team
He is not. He
himself.
would not be an all star if it wasn't for that he was on the Hornets.
Yeah. Yep.
So with that, I'm gonna give the Hornets something that they need, and um they have oh, what's his name? The guy Michael Carter Williams as their backup point guard,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm gonna have them go with Shy Anderson from Kentucky as their backup point guard. I know I still don't have. Did
Oh,
I
Shai
have?
Gilgeous-Alexander. I think you have Colin Sexton still on the
Oh,
board.
I still have Colin Sexton. Okay,
So
they're gonna
yeah,
go Colin Sexton.
yeah,
Whoops.
definitely. That's
Yeah,
oh man,
definitely Colin
they're
Sexton.
happy with that for sure.
Yeah, I don't
So
see why not. You take him and you just walk away and you have a
for
good
Kemba,
backup.
yeah,
You have another Kentucky player that at the end of the day, if it comes down to it, that they move out, move Kimball away. You have Monk and
so
you have Alexander who can run that 1-2, and they
mhm,
would not have a problem with that.
yeah. So
Especially
with the
for a team
Hornets,
that. Sorry, go ahead.
oh my bad. So with the Hornets, I have them going Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox.
Yeah. So why I have them going Kevin Knox is because, well, he's pretty. I already have Colin Sexton gone. I have all
Sure.
Trey Young, everyone else like that. So I feel like they're gonna go someone that has a lot of potential. And
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Knox has a lot of potential to be someone. He just kind of needs like some work, like and
Yeah.
some time to develop. And I feel like the Hornets could do that for him. So
I think Kevin Knox would be an interesting pick with the whole fact that they still have Nicholas Batum, and Nicholas
yeah,
Batum is not slowed down in his career. He's still a good, solid wing player.
yeah. Well,
So
what I like
I don't
about Kevin Knox is they're saying he's long enough to play that four. He can play a stretch four.
play
If
a
he,
stretch four.
yeah, they're saying because he's
He's
I think
thin
he's
though
six
as a stretch
nine.
four.
He's six
He's
nine. I'm
not
pretty sure.
bulky.
Yeah,
Like
no, he's skinny. He's real. He's like all Kentucky players are kind of like that skinny, like
they start
frame.
out like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they really take with that pick. They might use that pick just to be able to trade away
yeah.
Kimba, though.
They might trade away something.
Um, now we have basically we can just answer the 12 and the 13 at the same time since it's both going to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I would say they take the only left good point guard, and because they have their current point guard is Beverly their current point guard,
They have Beverly and Tadosic.
and Tadosic has been okay.
He's a oh man, he's a great passer and stuff, but they need someone
I
else.
think I think Alexander would play really good as a good,
That's
like, for now, backup point guard.
yeah, that's who I have the Clippers taking, Shai Gilgeous Alexander. And he's
Yeah.
I like him so much.
So with 12, I would take him, and then 13. And this guy was going to be in the lottery last year, but he decided to go back for another year, and now he's back in the lottery. And I would take ooh. So if Jordan leaves,
me and you are having the same problem with 13 and 14. I feel it.
Because I still have the other Bridges on the board.
Yeah.
I still have Williams.
Yep. That's how I was too.
And none of the other players in this draft are like a player that I would put higher than them.
Yeah, those two are the for sure like.
But Denver, who's Denver's small forward? It's Chandler, right? Isn't he a free agent?
Chandler. Ooh. Now see, Bridges could fall to them, and they would love that pick.
Okay, I'm gonna say that who's the 4 for the Clippers? They don't have like a good solid 4.
It's not a 4, but they put him at the 4. It's Tobias Harris.
Oh,
that's what I said.
He's so much better as a 3. He's so much better as a 3 ball, like as a wing player.
Exactly. I say you put him at the 3.
Okay, I'm taking Robert. I'm gonna take Robert Williams from Texas A&M as my 13.
Yeah, so
solid player.
Yeah, very solid. He's athletic, man. He could come in if DJ leaves. He could be like someone that's gonna come in and help a little.
These comments and questions that are in my comments right now are stupid funny, but it'll be fun to talk about these in a second. And then the last one.
Oh, I had Miles Bridges going to the Clippers, but
Miles
I am going to switch that, and I'm going to go Robert Williams.
I think Robert Williams is a good defensive rebounding big man who would play really good next to if they kept Jordan. If Jordan stayed there and they didn't trade him, they might just trade him so they can get the assets for him.
Yeah.
Because I know Tobias Harris is like, I'm going to lead this team into the playoffs next year, but you're not going to do much with that roster.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that they just re-extended Doc Rivers as their starting quarterback, or their starting quarterback. Why did I say that? as their GM and as their head coach.
I was surprised by that.
What has he done for the franchise? Like, got them into worse trouble than they already are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go Bridges with. Robert Williams for that one for his defensive game, and then Miles Bridges going to the Nuggets is an easy pick.
Yeah, easy pick. That's
easy.
He'll fit that.
And then, yeah, the rest of this group of rookies is going to be very interesting. I wish he would have done so much better for his second year. Delal. Oh, how do you say his name? The shooting guard from Kentucky, the one that had like stupid high reach.
Oh, Diallo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw he was projected to go to the Kings in the second round in someone's mock draft. I saw that and I was like,
I would take it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see what maybe onto freaking Greek Freak's little brother.
That's what I said for our second rounder. I'm like, hey, why not?
Let's try it. Yeah, we're that team to take someone like that. I feel like
I still think that we might use that pick as a trade piece, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so that's the lottery. That I feel like that was a really good way to start out this podcast. Now we're gonna move into just like talking about trades and stuff, and we're talking about that first one that popped up today. That I showed you.
The Andrew
and Andrew, they would want to trade. So there's high rumor that Minnesota wants to trade Andrew Wiggins before they trade Cat.
Yeah, so I saw that when I saw that Cat was like having bad. I was thinking, I was like, they're gonna like they have to get rid of Wiggins before because like I don't know. I heard Wiggins was like the player there
Is
that
the
was not
Wiggins the
working out.
problem?
I heard
Is
Wiggins
Wiggins the
wasn't working
problem?
out. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of Wiggins is the problem. Why Cat is having a hard time with this team. Like if
I,
they were to trade him, would Cat become more consistent? Because that's because they're both like ball holding players,
yeah, exactly.
or
I don't
um
know. But I don't know. Like with the Andrew Wiggins trade, were you trying to do like a Kings trade for him? Because I was trying to
I
do
would
something
think
through the trade machine, and I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't get something.
so. I've just thought up trades, and I've even tried it out on kind of an old version of 2K, but I've tried on 2K 17 different versions of how it could go down. And I
Yeah.
think if we could get, I think with Andrew Wiggins' like how big his contract is, how overpaid he is, at that point you get things done and you don't worry about how it takes it. So like if we could get both of them for a good price, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You get them both. But if one is the reason why the other one is unhappy, then obviously you don't go for that and you go for the better player. And if we
Yeah.
could get, if it ends up being that we could somehow get Cat for the number two, at that point you don't worry about who you would have gotten. You already
Yeah.
have a solid future All Star who
Yeah.
possibly, if he got good enough, could be the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
Like he was showing like he could be so good with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And then if you couldn't give up Willie for him and you had Towns play the four, Willie and Towns have already played together and they played fantastic in Kentucky. That Kentucky team was destructive against any
Yeah.
other NCAA team.
Yeah. That would be nice because Towns would bring in that offense, and Willie Cauley Stein doesn't have to worry as much about because he was worrying too much about trying to be an offensive player last year. He could kind of slide to that where what he was projected to be, like a defensive, like a DJ
Defensive rim
type player.
protector who could
Yeah.
also get like trash boards and everything and
Yeah.
pick up everything that Towns couldn't put in and all that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or like Willie could really set up Towns for a whole bunch of stuff. Like Willie, that was the
Dude,
one part of Willie's game that I
he
was really
was
happy about was the
impressive.
fact that his passing is really good. Like
Yes.
Willie's passing is low key like really good. I
Yeah.
think that's one big thing that he learned from DeMarcus was
How to pass.
how to pass.
Yeah, because DeMarcus was a good passer too.
And I think now that we have players that have dynamic together, like Boogie and Willie, you can't. I've seen so many people like say that, oh, Willie's the only player on the team that has value that should be traded. And I'm like, okay, just because a player has value doesn't mean he should be traded.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already shown that he wants to be a part of this core. He's already shown that he can play well with this core. He already has a player that just came onto this team that plays really good with him when he's on the court.
They click for sure.
They're plus, it's like in the plus and minus column, they plus together when they're on the floor.
Yeah, honestly, I hope we do something with Randolph. Like I hope we ship him off somewhere because you can see from the stats he hurt. Like whoever was on the court with him, he hurt them so
Really
bad,
bad. Him
really bad.
and Hill made the game so much slower.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
It was
And Willie Cauley Stein came out and even said it. I like playing with Kufis more. He said that's what I've been wanting to play with, like who I've been wanting to play with.
crazy to say that because Kufis is like,
I know exactly.
I was still mad that, and like I know that obviously Kufis will get his minutes, but like I don't think he deserves them. I
Yeah.
don't think he's the player that should be out there. I don't
Yeah.
think he's the player that deserves to be out there. But at the end of the day, I'm not the coach. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're not the coach, but it's true.
It would
Like,
make me mad when he would play Kufis over young guys like Scal and stuff like that because I wanted to see what Scal could do possibly, and he would just not do it.
now speaking about players that have value, that at this point they're only going to have value for a little bit longer, and then you can't trade them. That's going to be a player that I'm going to say Scal should be traded. JJ should be traded. Like these players that have already shown, like even though it was only his first year and it was only Scal's second year, they've already shown that they can't learn much.
Yeah.
Like he can't shoot it, or JJ can't shoot an NBA three consistently,
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
won't get to
tough
that point. It took him 3 seasons with UNC
to get that
to
shot
shoot
going in.
an NCAA three. Just imagine how bad he probably had to take, how long it took him in high school to shoot a three.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
the fact that you can't shoot an extra few feet away from where you were shooting before is not good.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can do little things and he can make little passes and he can do a little bit of defense and this kind of stuff. At that point in the time, he's as good as the G League.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Which, speaking of the G League, those new logos are fresh.
Oh, I like those. Yeah, I like their turnaround from.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, you could trade off Scal, you could trade off JJ. You wouldn't have a problem with that. You can trade off that second rounder at that point too, because we don't need the extra contract on to take up more money and add more youth.
Mm-hmm.
If we can hit for the fences and get like a solid player who's on a max contract, you're good. There's no problem with that at that point.
Yeah, with Randolph though, we're gonna have to. It's gonna be interesting with him because with the trade with him, I feel like not a lot of teams are gonna send something back good with that.
So the way that I'm thinking, and this is where Andrew Wiggins comes into play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've already reported that they will take on veteran contracts to get rid of Wiggins.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to be getting paid. He gets paid next season. He gets paid $20 million. Over the next 3 seasons, it gains $1 to $2 million every single season. So his last season of his contract is $23 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which means
I'm willing to take that, honestly.
So what I'm saying is we would trade our second. So we would trade JJ or Scal or both.
Yeah.
Zebo and our second rounder for Andrew Wiggins. And that's good compensation. You're getting rid of three roster spots that have to be that Minnesota can fill because there's plenty of free agents that are coming off of their team this season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Andrew Wiggins, you get a solid 3-ball player. You get that. You don't have to give up our first rounder for Andrew Wiggins. At the end of the day, we don't have to.
Yeah.
He's already shown that he's an he underplays. He doesn't put much effort into the game with the T-Wolves, which I think once he moves to a different team, he'd be so much better.
Yeah. I would like him.
And he's overpaid. He's overpaid really bad.
Yeah.
For how good he is.
Yep.
Like, yeah, if he comes to the Kings and he puts up 20 and 10 or 25 and 7 or something like that, then obviously, yeah, he deserves the contract. Mm-hmm. Which I think he will deserve that contract when he goes to a different team.
Yeah, he needs to be on a different team. Jimmy Butler kind of came in and took the shine away from Wiggins.
So
I'd be happy dumping off Randolph to them. Because he would fit with the Timberwolves. He'd go next to Towns.
Yeah. If they decide to keep
Gibson.
him.
Yeah. Or they could do something. I don't
know. Yeah. And then there's also like I was saying earlier, Dennis Schroeder, that has to be dealt with. And if they wanted to trade, they would have to figure out where they're going to trade him, and they would have to trade the number 3 pick to deal with that. There's also been we would trade the number 4 pick or the number 2 pick and Scal and JJ to Memphis for the number 4 pick, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, and the number 4 pick and Dylan Brooks, which would give us a solid backup 3. We would be low enough that Michael Porter Jr. would not be a mistake at that point.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, exactly. That would be a solid. I would like that.
I would be okay with that. But what needs to happen for me at that point is Aiden has to be officially off the board before they can say we're going for that.
Yeah.
Because if Aiden's on the board, Aiden is a huge factor to the Kings.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
if Aiden's on the board, you take Aiden.
I feel like it's the same way with Luka though. I feel like the Kings office fell in love with Luka, and I don't
think they
know
fell in
unless
love
it's,
with Luka for how much that we've been hearing back
you
and forth
hear that
about it.
like Vlade went like straight after the lottery, went straight to go and watch him play in the Final Four.
But so did the Suns, so did the Hawks,
That's
so
true.
did Memphis.
That's true.
All these other players all went too. So it's all very true. Yeah, we could do plenty of stuff that could change it. Obviously, before when we still had the 7th pick, I was saying, hey, we could try to move up and help Orlando out and help them move down, so when they went to draft Trae Young, they wouldn't look stupid in doing so because they would be drafting him lower. Yeah. But at this point, they're the 6th overall pick, and they would get him, and they wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, he's gonna fall right to them. I feel like it's just gonna be perfect for them. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like how we were with Fox last year. We were just like, if Fox is there, we're going Fox. Like,
so I have an opinion. I have a question for you, and I saw this one too. My question is, if the Celtics call us up, right?
Oh my gosh, I think I saw this.
If the Celtics call us up and they say, hey, you give us your pick, Scal or JJ, and we give you either. Well, okay, I don't think they would give up Hayward. So if they say we'll give you Jaylen Brown, your pick back, or their next year's first rounder.
2019 pick.
2019 pick. I'm saying yes and hanging up that phone right.
Yes.
Right, like yes. That paper would go through. Jaylen Brown is
oh my gosh,
destructive player.
I love him. He is a good player. I love that guy.
Yeah. So
he's so oh man.
And he went to Cal.
Perfect.
He's so close. He went to Cal. He's got people already around here.
That would be perfect for like our team. He would come in and fit perfectly in our small forward position. Like literally, it'd be perfect.
And at that point, the Celtics have to do that.
Yeah.
They're gonna have once Hayward will definitely be healthy enough for opening night.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That's what, because my friend's a Celtics fan, and we always talk about that. There's too many small forwards on that team.
And they all deserve to play.
And they're all good. So someone needs to go somewhere, and Tatum's not going to go nowhere. So I think Brown's the odd man out.
And at the end of the day, if they want to keep Brown, okay, give us the number. We'll give you the number 2 pick. You still give us the 2019 pick, and you give us Hayward, and we're not complaining.
Yes, in any of those small forwards are nice, to be honest.
Yeah. You have any trade ideas that you want to go over? I know obviously there's still like Kawhi option, but like I don't want to go into that because I don't see the value in trading for Kawhi Leonard.
I don't want that to happen. I don't. It would be a 1-year rental. I don't see him staying with us, to be honest. If he did.
True.
But I wanted to talk about Harry Giles and what you think he could do.
Harry Giles. You ever heard of KG? You ever heard of Chris Webber?
He's getting so much hype, and like it's just making me like, oh, I just want to see him in the summer league. Because I've watched.
You got your tickets yet?
Oh, what's it called? I'm for sure gonna be in Vegas for sure, because I live in Cali next to LA, so I'm a Kings fan from down here. So I'm closer to Vegas.
Hopefully you ain't wearing any of them hats around there. Somebody's gonna get you.
Yeah, screw all the Laker fans.
I see you got that. You got that hat rack. Like I got my hat rack.
Yep, back there. I need to get some more Kings stuff. I got a DeMarcus Cousins jersey, and then he got traded. So I was
I got a DeMarcus Cousins sweater for Christmas that year, and then all of a sudden I was like, I was out, and I was like, wait, this is actually happening. Have you seen the video of when he gets like he's getting interviewed at the All-Star game, and the guy walks up to him and tells him in his ear, and he's like,
yeah, and they're like, only All-Star questions, and he's like, what other questions are there? And then that's when he tells him, and he's like, oh, okay. He was salty right there, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
I don't know if you've seen my video, but I'm gonna do another video of it soon. And I totally believe this is like all planned by the Kings. Like they're a lot smarter than everybody else thinks they are.
Yeah.
I feel like Boogie knew that he was going to get traded to somewhere,
Just to get some pieces for this
get some
team.
pieces, and then like they
Oh my gosh.
they throw him the bone this year, and we sign him
Dude.
to like.
Because there was rumors of him getting that max when we had him. We were gonna
Oh
max
yeah,
him
he was
out.
going to get it if he didn't get traded for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. So I feel like they were like, look, dude, we're gonna get some pieces for you, and then you're coming right back to us.
We'll still give you, we'll still pay you.
We'll give you
We
that
just can't pay
max.
you. We can't pay you the 200 max, but
Yeah, we're still gonna
we'll pay you the.
and he'll be back where he loves. He loves
Yeah.
Sacramento.
And I don't see like, I know there's like, oh, the Suns can throw him a max. Cool. They got money. Cool.
Yeah.
All those Laker fans are
Oh
coming
my
at me like he's gonna go to the Lakers, bro. Boogie's not going to the Lakers.
Bro, every year the Lakers they say something new. They like when Ryan Anderson was a free agent. Oh, Ryan Anderson's coming to the Lakers. Boogie's coming to the Lakers. Paul George is coming to the Lakers. They hated LeBron when Kobe was still in the league, but then
But now
when
they want him on the
they
Lakers.
want LeBron now. Like, come on, Laker fans, make up your freaking like. Come on, they
Question,
just want everyone.
non-biased. Lakers will ever be a dynasty again?
I don't know. I don't see it happening soon. I really don't. I don't think they have the team for it.
Who do you think will make the playoffs first, the Kings or the Lakers?
Kings. I feel
Kings.
honestly Kings.
We have. I know there's people that are like, oh, the Kings don't have a better core than the Lakers. You guys have who?
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball, whose head is deeper in his dad's butthole than
Yeah. Yep.
anybody else in the
Exactly.
league.
Exactly.
Kyle
Kuzma's nice.
Kuzma's nice. Hart's okay.
Hart's
You
just
have the other Lopez brother who's just sitting there doing nothing.
Brook Lopez.
You have
They
you
have
have
Ingram. They have Ingram. But
okay.
he was injured.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and
I mean, I feel like
you
Fox
gave
is
up
just
your
gonna
you
do
gave
that.
up your 2018 pick for nothing.
Yeah.
So there's plenty that like I'm like we have Fox, we have Bogey, we have
Bogey.
Giles, we have Bogey, we have Frank Mason, we have like can you imagine if Fox became like a 25-10 player and what's his name Mason gave like 12-6 off the bench.
Dude, that oh my gosh. That's the plan. Like that's
Like
what we're hoping.
if he became the Darren Collison from when the Clippers had
Yeah.
CP3 and Darren Collison as their backup point guard.
Man, that's gonna be
Oh, we
great.
need that. We need that Darren Collison.
Yeah, for real. I've also heard that a lot of people want Julius Randle on the Kings.
That would be interesting. I know that there's obviously like the Parker rumor and the Julius Randle rumor and the Aaron Gordon rumor. Aaron Gordon, for one thing, would not fit on the Kings.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, Aaron Gordon is not a King.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a player. We all know. See, okay. At the end of the day, I know this would never happen, but if you really want your legacy to look good, this is a totally different subject. But if you ever want your legacy to look good and your nickname is the King, you want to have like at least one season with a team that's called the Kings.
Yeah.
So like if LeBron signed like when LeBron gets to like the Vince Carter status,
yeah,
and he wanted to do like a funny like playoff run with the Kings like his last season,
yeah.
that would be awesome. You would literally go down as being the King of Kings.
Yep, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be tight.
But I know that would never happen. But you know what? And it's funny, like that's also what the Lakers like. They always like, oh, this player is gonna come here. This player is gonna come here. This player is gonna come here. I'm like,
they just
dude, your own players want to get out of your team. Like,
exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things, and there's so much of stuff to talk about. But let's hit the questions in the comments, and yeah, what do we got? Let's see what we got. So we have a whole bunch of jokes about me being Grant Napier's son.
Oh my gosh.
Which has always been going on, which is silly. Swaggy Porter, where's my Kings jersey? It's currently in the vault, aka my closet. my good old Fox wing jersey. That's what they get for tanking. Blah, blah, blah. We got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Would you trade? So like we said, so there's one on here. Would you trade with Mini for Cat? Of course.
Yeah.
But it would have to be for A, the right price, and B, we need to dump people for him. Like, I would give up the second overall pick, but if we could somehow get like one of their lower players and we can dump like Zebo and JJ onto their team for like if any way possible, if we could get Cat and then we could go dump like JJ, Scal, Zebo for like a first overall 2019 pick, even if it was low. At the end of the day, it could be good. Like, we've even seen good teams from this last year were even bad. So like we could still get a team that was in the top 15.
Yeah.
And we would still be a good pick. And I know there's plenty of people that are like, oh, this next season is going to be super lackluster and not many draft picks. I'm like, well, you're going to have people like RJ Barrett coming into the draft. You're going to have people like Zoan that's going to be coming, or Williamson is going to be coming into the draft. Zion. Yeah, there's a lot of different players. Jalen Brown,
3 players,
or Jordan Brown. Duke. Jordan Brown from the guys from Duke are going to come in there too, and then like Jordan Brown, who just committed to Nevada, who's from Wood Creek High School here. Like, he's really good, but he won't be a top 10 prospect. So you could get him later on as a good solid 4.
Yeah,
I still think Giles might actually, like, at the end of the day, Giles was going to be a number 1 draft pick if he would have played. Like, it's the same thing with Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah. They're both kind of in the same.
And we've already seen, like, we haven't seen Michael Porter Jr. get to play post his injury other than his few games. But we got to see what Giles can do in the training center.
And you've heard, well, I don't know if you've heard, but I've heard from like podcasts and stuff, the teammates are very high on Harry Giles. Like Vince Carter's talked about him. Garrett Temple's talked about him.
Fox has talked about him.
Yeah, they're all very high on him. They say he's,
you know what's funny? Fox has like not only been for the Kings but for the entire city of Sacramento. He keeps posting like little funny Instagram posts. That is like recently he said like one that said Chiefs to sack. Like the I don't know if that said. Oh, did it say Chiefs or Chefs? Like, I think it was funny. It was like something like. I think it would be funny if like another Kansas team came to Sacramento. Like if we got the Kansas City Chiefs,
like
that'd be
funny. Football team, yeah.
Well, hey, if we get that soccer arena, we could put a football team in there.
Yeah.
Like there'd be no problem with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what our questions. Do you think this year's draft pick is good, or do you think the Kings should trade away their first round pick? Obviously, it's good.
It's a very good pick.
It's a very good pick. We could get a franchise player. The first two, straight up, the first 2 players in this draft are for sure going to be franchise players. They both have super high potential. They both have the potential to be not only all-stars but superstars in this league.
Yep.
You have another player later on in the draft who should have been top 3 but got injured.
Yeah.
Who could also be like Harry Giles, but instead of Harry Giles not being able to play his rookie season, this guy's going to be able to come in and play immediately right after not being able to play in college. So
and he said, and the thing about Michael Porter Jr., which I like a lot, is he said that his back is better than, like, in high school, he said he had back problems, like it would hurt. And he said he feels completely like the best he's ever felt. So that just catches my eye, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy could be a king. And I don't even want to get started on
that. Swaggy Porter commented, Mark, why would you have a show as the same time as your father Grant?
Oh my gosh.
Bro, honestly, the point of this, all like me being a manager of a basketball team in college, running a sports blog, hopefully working with the team at Jessup, which I'm officially done with Sierra, everybody. I'm going to Jessup starting in the fall. So I am going to be at Jessup finishing my filmmaking degree. And the point of all this, at the end of the day, retire Grant Napier.
Yeah. Solid.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry Reynolds, for your contributions. And you are so much better of a basketball personality than him, but than Grant Napier. But Grant Napier needs to go.
Yeah.
He's been great for the Kings as a play-by-play, but he says says some of the weirdest stuff on basketball TV. Yeah. And at the end of the day, do we as a young fan base want some guy that has been with the team for 30 years telling us about old 80s basketball? Yeah. Or do you want him to be talking about this young, fresh team that's got a speedy, fast point guard that just showed you that he's one of the clutchest players in the entire NBA?
Yeah.
And it could be a future leader of a franchise dynasty. Yeah. Or do you want him talking about, Chris Webber can't pronounce names. Chris Webber about this bad timeout Chris Webber said at Michigan. What else is he going to talk about with Doug? Like, I'm actually really happy that Doug Christie is going to be announced. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yes, I am taking straight shots. I'm taking straight shots at Grant Napier.
Grant Napier at Grant Napier on Twitter. That guy. Oh man.
We got any other questions? You have anything else you want to talk about?
Pretty much just I don't know. I wonder if I'm just excited for Giles to see what he does in the summer league.
So who would you want going into free agency? If you had the ability to straight up sign on a max contract, either Gordon, Parker, Cousins, Capella, or who's the last one?
Trying to think.
I think that's all of them. Those are like all the really big names.
Yeah.
So who do you really want to get in free agency? I'm sorry. Let's go with that question.
I think everyone wants him back, and I feel like if Boogie wanted to come back, I feel like you have to. Like, I feel like, oh my gosh, that'd be so.
I think
amazing.
He already does.
Yeah,
I think he already does want to come back.
I do too. He
wouldn't be doing
the Twitter for the Pelicans.
Yeah,
you saw.
And
there's
not a lot of teams that have a lot of cap space for him. I know obviously he's going to be looking for that max, even with this contract, with this big huge injury that he just had.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, he still does things in Sacramento. He still does things. He paid for that. He paid for a couple funerals. He paid for a couple graduations. He paid for birthdays. He's paid for camps. He's paid for a whole bunch of stuff in Sacramento. He wouldn't still be doing this if he doesn't love the city.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter about the politics in the front office. It matters about where does he want to play at the end of the day. Where does he want to leave his legacy? And that's in Sacramento.
Yep, exactly. And he wants to live in Sacramento. I'm sure he wants his kids in Sacramento, and so
I hope one day he gets to that point where we see Amari Cousins on the court playing basketball like all the other big name big name dads are playing. Like,
yep.
It's funny to watch all those like people that put like all the young all the kids in the like starting lineups. Like we have like Brody and
Chris Paul's son.
And Noah, Chris Paul's son, and then Noah Westbrook and Amari, and then we have like Riley Curry as the point guard.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's wild.
You know what's crazy though? We're gonna have another O'Neal in the league in 2 seasons.
O'Neal. Oh,
Sharif.
Sharif
will be in the league in 2 seasons.
Going to UCLA, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I like him too. We shall see what he.
No, I think he's gonna have a different playing style than his dad though.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't play the same way.
Yeah.
He's like a stretch 4 basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's one thing that I've always really wished about Sacramento is we started getting the recognition that we deserve, not just as a basketball
Oh
franchise, but as
man.
like as a city. We're
Yeah, the
getting that.
city is
We have
amazing.
the best arena in the country.
Yep.
We have our downtown is starting to get built up and looks amazing downtown.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you've been able to come up and see how everything's been looking, but
My aunt actually lives in Rancho Cordova. And
it's
so
beautiful. Like I live in Roseville, which is only
Mhm.
like 20 minutes away,
Oh
and
yeah,
like
yeah, I've been there.
they're
I've been there.
like downtown Roseville, they're like redoing all of downtown Roseville, and like they just moved the fire station over to this like beautiful new fire station that they just made, and they're gonna put in a whole bunch of new condos and a whole bunch of new things. They're
Yeah.
gonna build it around that old tire or tower theater that they have. Like that's the main centerpiece of downtown, and so
Mhm.
they're gonna build everything around there. They just built the new civil center, and it looks it like honestly, Northern California is starting to become like a better looking Bay Area.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I think it's funny like the Warriors are saying like, oh, Chase Arena is gonna look like this crazy thing inside San Francisco. You're finally moving back into San Francisco
Yeah.
after all this time? Really?
Yep.
You know, real teams stay in their actual cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike the Niners who go play in Santa Clara.
Yep. Yep.
That's an hour away from San Francisco. That's not San Francisco.
So I think
Anywho,
we got another comment. If if we could get a lob city in Sacramento with Bogey and Harry, that would be dope.
we already got that with Bogey
And Stein. Yeah.
and Cauley Stein.
Yeah.
You
I'm
ever heard of Bogey Stein?
Yep. And then we saw there's another comment right under that. If we don't get Luca, I love Michael Porter Jr. Seeing Fox, Bogey, Buddy, slash Buddy, Michael Porter Jr. with Giles or Willie Cauley Stein, that would be nasty, fast, athletic, and can shoot. Yeah,
True.
very
True.
true.
And then both Willie and Giles are not only good off or like have good offensive potential, but
Mm-hmm.
both of them are good playmaking big men.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
a front court who are both good making big men who are going to throw out to all of your shooters.
yeah. And then if we have Michael Porter Jr. or Luca, that's
Dude,
just gonna be
can you just
beautiful.
imagine if Willie attacked the paint and he just like randomly throws it up in the air and Michael Porter Jr. comes down and just like
Yeah, just
straight up
pow.
annihilates everybody. Like
Yeah,
just like cocks it back and kaboom.
that'd be beautiful, beautiful. What I like about the Giles thing coming up is it might make Scal like because they're gonna be fighting for that position. That's Scal and Giles. If Scal doesn't get traded, it's between them two.
Honestly,
And
honestly, at the end of the day, if Scal was gonna learn anything about basketball, he's already learned it.
yeah,
He's
I
not
mean
gonna
he,
learn anything new.
yeah,
He didn't get better last season. He played the
yeah,
same.
that's true. And he got injured.
He got injured a lot.
Yep.
He did the same thing. The one reason that I really don't like Giles or really don't like
Scal.
Scal is the fact that he can't learn to stay on his feet. Like he can't
He
learn
jumps a lot.
that he needs to stand straight. He needs to just sit. He needs to just stand. Like don't
Yeah.
jump. You don't have to jump at every single thing.
Yeah.
Like you're 7 foot tall. Just swat it.
Yeah. Yep.
At the end of the day, just swat the ball.
Yeah.
Like
I noticed Willie Cauley Stein has like problem. He like I don't know. I think he said that his he like broke his finger or something like that, or did something when he like went to go do a dunk or something like that. And like
yeah,
he's ever since then he's kind of been like different. Like he doesn't really go at shots the same he used to. Like he seems like he's kind of like mellowed down a little, and
he's
he's
been
trying to take on that like scoring role
yeah.
instead of what he's supposed to be.
I can see that, but also like at the end of the season, I really started seeing his aggressive side come out,
Yeah, yeah,
which we
yeah,
need. Which if we saw that all season, he'd be a not only a double machine, he'd be getting like at least 5 foot back dunks a game.
yeah. Another player I want to talk about that really impressed is Buddy Hield. I don't know if you saw his defense at the end of the year, but he was
His defense got
impressive.
really good. His playmaking got way better.
His
Like
ball
his
handling got better, everything. Buddy Hield
Yeah,
improved so much in that year. I
totally
really loved
agree. I
him.
don't know how I felt about like them kept switching him off. At
Mhm.
the end of the day, who do you think will win that starting shooting guard position?
I'm such like it's so tough for me because I'm such a Buddy fan. Like I love Buddy. Buddy is my guy. Like when he was coming in the draft, I wanted the Kings to get him so bad. I wanted him. Like I was like, screw Ben Malcolmore, screw Aaron Afalo, all these trash players. Let's go get Buddy Hield. And it didn't happen that way, but
Who
um
did we get that year?
we got that's the year we got Papagiannis. Oh man. And
Okay,
Scal.
I gotta talk
And
about that
Bogey.
real
We
quick.
got Bogey too. But
Bogey, sure. Um, and Malachi should have gotten the minutes that he deserved,
Malachi,
but at the
I
end
was
of the
so
day,
mad about that.
you didn't want them to take Malachi.
No, I wanted him. I loved Malachi and I wanted him to get more playing time and he just didn't.
They went and got Bruno Caboclo to
That I
steal.
feel like that was why did they do that? I feel like they were just trying to like I don't even know. I really don't know.
They were probably trying to figure out like trying to give Malachi minutes that he wasn't getting.
Yeah, but
At the end of the
Malachi
day,
went
they
over
were
to
trying to do.
Toronto and played for the G League. He didn't even get
I
in
know,
the.
I know, but hey.
I feel bad for him. I love Malachi.
You mean Lebrano?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's been crazy to just see like how many teams are like honestly, it's crazy to see how many teams are like gonna get blown up in the next 2 years. Like there's
Yeah.
so much drama, so much heat between all these different teams. Like the Spurs at the end of the day could not have Kawhi Leonard, could
Yeah.
not win 50 games. They didn't win 50 games this last season. They
Yeah.
could just end up not winning 40, not winning 30. The Spurs could be in the lottery next year for all we know.
Yeah. Especially with like this stuff going down with Greg Popovich's wife, and I don't know. This might be like a tough upcoming year for them.
Yeah. Um,
With Buddy and Bogey, I think Buddy should start just because of how he showed last year. I think Buddy's a better defender than Bogey because he showed like he get dude that guy goes. Buddy can get like 2 to 3 steals a game almost. If you've seen him, like he gets steals like crazy. He's just good at
steals.
picking that ball.
Hawks also gets a lot of steals,
Yeah,
and Willie like low key gets. I know a lot of people don't think Willie is really like playing his best on defense, but if you watch like his little like things that he does, he points things out for people. He
yeah,
makes sure to like stay close to people, try to get as much of a defensive positioning as possible. And when
yeah,
he does, that dude. Remember last season he had a 7 steal game
yeah.
or six or seven steal. I don't remember how much it was, but he had a lot of steals in that game.
Yeah, Willie, he's had a lot of games where he's just like, wow, this guy could be something. He could be something very good. But then he has those games where he's like, what
I
happened?
know he has those like bad games, and I honestly like see it. That's one of the things is like when he first came into the league and he was doing the same thing that Scout was doing. He was doing the same thing Scout was doing, was jumping a lot and getting into foul trouble really easily. But now
Yeah,
that he's like moved on, he's not been getting into foul trouble that much.
yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, he has not. So
Willie got put into a bad situation with George Carl and stuff.
yeah, that
That
was
was a
bad.
tough
And
time.
then I think I knew that he probably wouldn't have the best time. Like I knew he was gonna have a hard time this season with translating into not having Boogie next to him.
Yeah, having him having to be the
But can you
5.
imagine if he like grew like this off season? Like I know he travels, but like if he like got bigger, worked on that 3-point shot, him and
Yeah.
Boogie just start putting up threes from the corners next season. Like if we actually got Boogie back,
I would
and
love that.
honestly, at the end of the day, you don't have to sign Boogie to that big of a max.
Yeah.
He has no
I mean, if
reason
he
to say that
loves
he
Sac,
wants that big of a max.
yeah,
He loves Sacramento. He just came off of a huge injury that we don't for sure know yet if he's going to come out as the Boogie that we know.
yeah, exactly.
Even though I've seen little videos of him running and doing these things that look like his foot is getting there.
Yeah,
But obviously you don't know yet. Like
yeah,
I love the no doubt campaign, like the 0 doubt. Like he's like
yeah.
trying to show everyone that he's gonna get back to where he deserves to be.
I think he can. Boogie is that type of player. Like his mentality is like, it's he
It's
just
basketball or nothing for him.
yeah he loves the sport, and people were like, it's like freaking Grant Napier. He
Yeah.
hated DeMarcus Cousins. And I was just like, dude, he's just so like he loves this sport, like he loves this game, and he's so emotional with it. And so that comes out. But his attitude's gotten better. It definitely has gotten better.
Yeah, he like obviously he still was getting those stupid those stupid technicals for obviously the leagues, all the referees still have to be cautious about it, but like he only had like for the amount of time that he got to play, he would have had at least 12 by the time that he came out of the season with his injury. He only had 7.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not the greatest,
but it is better.
But it's not what he's done.
Yeah.
He's had 12 before the All-Star game before, which is bad.
Oh my gosh. And did you see the thing with him and KD? Like, he like kind of just like, all right, I'm just gonna let it go. Like Boogie,
he's learning. He learned with Anthony Davis that that's how you're supposed to play.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to please the refs, you don't do stuff.
Yeah.
You don't be stupid.
Yeah. So that would.
And I think now that he's figured out himself, like him back on the Kings, he's gonna start playing with that mentality. He'll be a leader of a team. Him and Fox will just destroy anybody.
Have you seen that?
Have you seen him? Have you heard him diss Lonzo?
Yeah, like, he said Fox is the best point guard.
Yeah, so
that'd be nice.
Yeah, we've been going for about an hour and 30 minutes. Do you want to hit on anything else? I haven't seen many questions coming in here. I just see people continue to talk about like what we've talked about.
Yeah.
Just like love Bogey. Like in that situation, if we don't get a free agent small forward or we don't trade for one, at the end of the day, you start Bogey at the 3 and you don't worry about it.
Yeah, and you bring Buddy to the shooting guard. Yeah, exactly.
Don't have a win. I honestly do think that Fox will be a better shooting John Wall.
Yeah. I mean, Fox showed that he can shoot.
Yeah.
He showed that he can shoot. It's just I feel like it'll come. This next
So talking about Lonzo real quick. You think Lonzo will ever fix his shot?
No, I don't think so. He might change his mechanics, but I don't know. His shot is so like.
You understand? I don't know if everybody understands. You know, after a certain amount of time playing against a player, you find out that he's never going to fix things that he needs to fix, and they end up just start like everybody on a team that faces him can get like 10 blocks easy.
Yeah,
because it's an easy shot. His shot, he rolls up like this.
Yeah,
dude, like
yeah, exactly. It's a very low like shot. It's like right in front of his face. He does not go up higher.
So the way that he shoots it, his center of gravity is so low that they literally don't have to like. He could just lean back and fall.
He has a very slow release too, so he's gonna have to do something.
Where do you think his brother will go?
LiAngelo?
Yeah.
I just saw a video that came out today that there were some scouts at his this little thing he was playing. I don't know what it was. He was like in a little scrimmage type thing, and there was a scout there from the Detroit Pistons.
From the Detroit Pistons?
Yeah, that's.
I was reading something that he's met with. He's having private meetings with both the Clippers and the Lakers, and he's met with.
He'll go to the Lakers. Honestly, he's gonna go to the Lakers
with like one of their later picks,
either a second round or undrafted. Honestly,
they'll just sign him as an undrafted.
Yeah, because they're gonna. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna make Lonzo happy, and they don't want to hear it from LeVar and all that crap. But did you see?
Honestly, they don't need to hear it from LeVar. That's not his decision.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see?
And Lonzo
promised. Oh wait, I'll let you go.
And I'm gonna keep saying it. And Lakers fans hate it when I say it, but they know it's true. Until Lonzo gets his dad's, like, I understand his dad should be, like, his dad can be his agent if they want him to.
Yeah.
Like, as your agent is not your boss. You're your boss.
Yeah.
He's your employee.
Yeah, and
which means at the end of the day, he does not have more say over you.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that you're sitting there in interviews and he's telling them what he wants them to hear, and you're not speaking your mind about stuff, and you're just sitting there like saying, "Yeah, okay, he's right." Yeah. Like, that's not being professional.
Yeah, and that's why he gets
That's
crap
not a
from
leader.
people. That's why Patrick Beverly came right up to him and put it on him. That first game they played, the Clippers,
Yeah,
Patrick Beverly was not playing.
and he will go down as the NBA's daddy's boy.
Yeah, he
He's
has
not
no
going to go
respect for
down. His
that.
his legacy, and Lakers are like, oh, he's going to have a great legacy. I'm like, yeah, when he learns to take his when he learns to take his little diaper off and play the game of basketball.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that the Lakers.
Anybody that's offended by me saying that, it's called the Bleeding Purple Podcast. It's because feelings matter, and I'm saying it because I want to say it.
Yep,
At the end of the day, that's what basketball and any other sport's about.
yep. Honestly,
Um,
the
how
Lakers,
many
the
how many
Lakers have
games? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I guess they're like they promised this guy to they're promising to draft this guy named Mitchell Robinson, who is a 7-foot center, and before the college year, he was the third best center in the draft, from right behind DeAndre Ayton and Mo Bamba. He was right
They're
there
going
with
to draft
them.
him out of high school.
Yeah, well, what happened is he was going to Western Kentucky, and his stepdad worked at he was an assistant coach at Western Kentucky, but his stepdad ended up leaving Western Kentucky as a coach. So then this guy, Mitchell Robinson, ended up leaving Western Kentucky and didn't even play a single game, and said, "I'm just gonna take a different route." And he's still, and the
So
Lakers want to draft him.
how is it that he can? Okay, I get someone like Bagley like somehow figured out how to let his high school skip his junior year or skip his senior year. But how is it that he get like I understand that not until 2020 is when they're abolishing the one and done rule.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it that they said that it was okay that he can skip college?
Because what happened was, is pretty much it's a. I heard what it is. It's like a one in, what's it called? It's like a thing where you can go to college for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and or you just have to miss out for 1 year pretty much, and then you can get drafted. So
Mm-hmm.
like with if LaMelo Ball was 18, if he didn't want to go to college and he just missed out for a year, he could get drafted the next year. It's just you're not
Huh.
allowed to come straight out of high school into the NBA. You have to miss a whole year. And
So
so that's
what pick were they gonna draft him with? Because
uh
they have the 25th pick in the draft. They
yep,
don't have.
that's where they're saying they're gonna get
I
him.
wonder how this Holiday brother will do. The youngest of the brothers is the Aaron Holiday who
Oh,
was the
from
UCLA point
UCLA,
guard.
he was
Yeah,
behind Lonzo. I remember seeing him in the tournament against Fox.
was he good?
He yeah, he is actually good. He's like a Frank Mason. He's literally like a Frank Mason.
Huh.
Like a
Interesting.
small like bulldog kind of player.
Trying to think
So
of who we would even like, what position we would want to if we kept the second round pick. What position we would want to take?
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That really is.
Because there's this Newman kid that I've heard a lot about that's going to be in here from
I
from
wish
Kansas. Mikel Newman.
I don't know if you know who he is, but his name is Troy Brown from Oregon.
Yeah, I've heard of.
I wish he would fall to us to the second round, but sadly he's not. He'll go in the first round. But I really like him, and a
I
lot of
also
people
heard
are high on him.
Trevin Duvall would be a good pickup for the Kings too.
Oh yeah. There's
The point guard from Duke.
there's the point guard from Duke too. Or wait, is it Duke? Where is it
Point
at?
guard from Duke is Trevor Duvall.
Not Duke. UCLA. Jalen Hands.
Holiday.
Wait, where does
Who?
Jalen Hands play?
Jalen Hands.
Yeah, do you know who that is?
Jalen.
He was the player that like coming out of high school. Yeah, he played for UCLA. Yeah, Jalen Hands. I watched him before this college year. I watched him in high school. He played for Foothills Christian, and this dude was a beast. Him and Colin Sexton used to go at it. Like they got in a fight in like a scrimmage game for like
Really?
yeah. But
He's not even projected to be interesting. I wonder
yeah,
how. I wonder how Grayson Allen will project into the NBA.
Yeah, he might be a sleeper. I don't know, but he has kind of that bad attitude if you've seen what
He's
he
already shown that he can have that bad attitude.
Yeah, so that's a throw off right there. But yeah, what I was saying with Jalen Hands is if he could slide to us, I'd be willing to pick him up because his in high school he was crazy. Like he
Did
was
he
so
even
good.
declare for the draft? I
Who?
know. I oh, he was actually in our. He was actually in our second pre-draft workout. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah. So when
He
I
was here
saw that, I was
today.
like, I like that.
Interesting.
He's a point guard, and so I don't know, bring him in
I'll
and
have to look up more video on him. Let's see if we
yeah.
have any new comments. How many games will Lonzo duck Foxes this season? I
I
got
don't think
two that
I don't think he could do that this year. He did that too much last year.
I think. Do you think at the end of the day Fox will be better than Lonzo Ball?
Yes, without a doubt. I honestly do.
Agree.
Someone said that Mitchell is a beast rebounder. Yeah, that's the guy
Which
I'm talking
Mitchell
about. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Robinson?
Yeah,
He's
he.
projected 19th on this one, so I he might not even get to fall that far
Yeah,
to the
well, if he does
25th.
fall to them, I guess they've promised to get him, which
Huh.
will be a decent pickup for them because they don't have a center really. I mean, they have Brick Lopez, but this kid, like I said before,
You think at the end of the day, you think at the end of the day the Lakers will even get any good free agents?
um, the only person I see them pulling in maybe is Paul George.
I don't think they'll get him.
Even if they
And
do, then let him get
even
them.
though I know that he already put his daughter in school in LA,
Yeah,
I don't think they'll get him. I don't think they can't give him the money that he wants because they already got exposed for talking to him during the regular season about a contract, and that's
yeah,
illegal.
yeah.
So they can't offer him a certain amount of money that he wants. Um, if it there's a if we were to trade like JJ and we drafted Michael Porter Jr., there's a he doesn't look. I don't know if he's going to be in this draft this year, but there's a small forward that played next to Porzingis, in Lavia,
Oh,
who
I
is
think I
really
saw.
good.
I think I saw
His
someone
like
saying about him.
Kufris or something like that is his last name, Kufris or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually really good, like a good solid backup small forward.
Hmm.
Um, we got any more questions? I see 5 viewers. Anyone else got any questions for us before we call it?
Yep, the stream's been pretty long so far. Decent stream.
It's been good. No problem with that.
Yep.
Trying to think of anything else that we could talk about for just a few more minutes if we wanted to. If not, we can always think about it during the week and we can come back next week, Wednesday, and continue. Would you want to come back on the show and chill out?
Definitely, definitely.
This has been fun.
Love talking basketball and
Yeah.
love talking about the Kings. I don't. There's not many fans out here that where I live where I can talk about. So,
Okay. Question for you. How many seasons?
how many seasons have I been a fan?
Sure. We'll go with that first.
Um, I've been a fan. Well, my aunt has lived in Sacramento, pretty much Rancho Cordova. I don't know if you know where that's at. It's like a suburb of Sacramento, pretty much.
Ah,
But she's lived there for so long. So like I've been a Kings fan since I've remembered basketball, pretty much.
yeah.
Like I remember being
So
a very young kid, and I used to watch the Lakers, and I was never like a Lakers fan or anything. I just watched basketball because I liked it, and I remember seeing them play the Kings, and I saw Omri Caspi and all these old players. Who was another player I saw that played? I don't know. That game, I just remember seeing Omri Caspi, and I liked the Kings from there. And I knew my aunt Chrissy lived in Sacramento, so. But a tradition I do every year is for my birthday in December, I go to Sacramento and visit them, and I go to a Kings game.
the show.
So, yeah. So
So,
for a
so,
while
the,
now.
so the question I was doing with the years was how many years until we're a playoff team?
Oh, okay. That that is
If
that's
we
kind
hit
of
a if
tough.
we hit a home run with either the number 2 pick, or a trade that gives us an all-star caliber player for the number 2 pick, I'm gonna say next year.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like
I think Giles is too much of a sleeper. I think Aiden can add so much to this team. I think Michael Porter Jr., if he comes out strong, him and Giles could show the league that it doesn't matter if you get injured or not. If we get Boogie,
that would be my gosh.
If we get MBJ and Boogie, can you imagine we get MBJ and Boogie and they both come out and drop like 20 a game?
Yeah. We're a playoff team for sure. I honestly think so.
If Fox can post like 16 and 8,
yeah.
Buddy could post 20 points a game. As long as our bench was posting like 45 combined a game, and our defense was playing great, easy 16.
Yeah, easy. We'd be
it probably have even an all-star in that situation.
Yeah. That's why I like Michael Porter Jr. I feel like he has so much potential to be I think he has the highest potential besides Ayton to be that like superstar player.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Luka could be a star player, but I don't see superstar potential in Luka.
I totally feel like at the end of the day, Luka for sure is going to the Suns.
Yeah, same. I really do.
I know there's so many people that think that
Ayton's going
that they'll take Ayton, but like just because he's there doesn't just because that literally their head coach is Dontage's ex-coach in Slovakia,
and they don't have a primary ball handler.
They don't have a primary ball handler. They have good post players for now who can hopefully develop more as the game goes on.
And they can offer Capilla a max.
And they can offer money to people. And you have one of the best shooting guards in the game. And if you put a good point guard next to him or a good wing player, and they have Josh Jackson at the end of the day.
Yeah, Josh Jackson, exactly. So
at the end of the day, they're taking Luka because not only all that, he just led them to a EuroLeague championship.
And was the MVP.
And was the MVP of not only the league, but also their final.
Exactly. I think
that's the second best league in the entire world, which plays other ex-NBA players, that didn't even score as many points as Luka did.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be 20 until next February.
Yep. I definitely think the Suns are going to take him.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
And I'm totally fine with that because I'm fine with Ayton or Michael Porter Jr. Honestly.
At the end of the day, if we're sitting there at the table and I have to look at myself and look at because I'm honestly like gonna probably try to figure out if I can have like a draft party at my house, like for show. But at the end of the day, if I'm sitting there and looking at everyone, I'm like, guys, we have Porter and we have Hayden. Which one do we take?
Either way, you're happy.
At the end of the day, we take either one of them. We just be like, you stupid.
Yeah, we're lit. We're happy.
We just jumped 5 draft places, second year in a row, and there's so many Kings fans that all called that too. Like I was
feeling that like we're jumping up for sure. Like I felt that so much.
We could not get 4 through 6.
Nope.
We could only go up or we could go down.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is, we have the clutchest point guard in the NBA.
Yep. And I think we got rewarded for not tanking.
We lost games because we lost games.
Yeah,
we had one of the hardest. We had one of the hardest schedules in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
So
we got rewarded.
At the end of the day, we got what we deserved. The league will finally see soon enough that the Sacramento Kings are going to be the greatest show on the basketball court soon enough.
Yeah.
We will be back to where we deserve.
Yep.
And with that, I think that's the end of this episode of the Bleeding Purple podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again, Davin, for joining on, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Later.